guys, so I'm making another video for you guys. So this time I'm going to talk about roommates. So my little sister just got into college and she experienced living with someone else in your room for the first time. And thankfully she found someone who was actually pretty awesome, so she's really lucky. But there are definitely some people out there that are dealing with the awkward roommate situation. And I can definitely tell you from past experiences that I most definitely have had those. So when I was in college, when I transferred to West Virginia, I actually had a roommate that the 2 semesters that we were actually roommates together, we actually said 2 words to each other. I was like, hey, and he was like, what's up? And that's it. And there were plenty of times we were in the same room together, and plenty of times we were doing stuff in our room and we never said anything to each other. So awkward. But I have had some good roommates, but there are some crazy stories that I've got to tell you guys about some roommates that I have had. So right now I'm actually living with my sister, and it's a little bit weird because even when we were kind of growing up, she lived with our dad and I lived with my mom. And so now that we're living together, we're kind of having to learn how to feel each other out and know what things to do and not to do so that we don't make each other angry. And it sucks because my room, because we live in the middle of nowhere and I'm on a farm, is the only room that gets service with our phones. So she kind of has to come into my room to check Facebook or send out texts, and sometimes we don't even have enough service to do any of that. We just hope and pray that there's not a cloud or a rainstorm or something like that blocking our service. But there have been plenty of times where I've just spent the night at a friend's house just to give a little bit of space between the 2 of us. And then there's the roommates that are just filthy and disgusting and messy, and those are the worst because I am a neat freak and I love my place to be clean. And when it comes to living with people who smell bad and have no personal hygiene and really don't care if the dishes or the trash go out. So those were some of the things that I struggled with past roommates. And it sucked because I was always cleaning and I was always picking up after them, and I was always kind of buying the shampoo and stuff in the bath just so that maybe he would use it so he wouldn't smell as bad. But yeah, that's some of the ones that I've experienced. I've had other roommates as well. I've had amazing ones. I lived with Nico and Taylor when I lived in Harrisonburg, and honestly, I feel like they were heaven sent just because I had previously lived with so many horrible people. And it just felt crazy to be living with people that I actually loved and wanted to spend time with. Actually, when I lived in Maryland, I was living with my friend Jack and his family, and then was convinced to move in with one of our friends because she had an open room, and she ended up not working out so well. It kind of sucks when the roommate's mom is kind of the landlord and you kind of are just living there, because then it's not really a fair trade when it comes to who is in the wrong. So I ended up just moving out. When I was in college, I was actually starting to date my first boyfriend, and my roommate at the time, we lived in the dorm, and it was kind of crazy because we were both in the closet, and I came out to one person, he came out to another, and then eventually one night when he was drunk, he came out to me. And it was kind of funny because my boyfriend started visiting a lot more, and my roommate actually started hitting on my boyfriend. And it kind of sucked because yes, he was my roommate, yes, he kind of hung out with my group of friends, but I don't want my roommate flirting with my boyfriend, that's for sure. So I ended up not rooming with him after that, and then I ended up transferring out of that school to another one to be closer to my boyfriend, which I never suggest doing because you shouldn't transfer schools for someone, even if you think you love them, because you never know if that relationship's gonna last, and mine didn't. But I did make really good memories, and I think that the transfer helped me become a lot more confident in myself because I found a lot of leadership roles there. But yeah, lived with boyfriends before. I was in college, and college rules are boys have to live with boys, girls have to live with girls. So being gay, living with your boyfriend's an option because you're both boys and there's nothing they can really say that you can't do that. So I lived with my boyfriend for 2 semesters and it was pretty awesome. We ended up getting a place together, and then he decided that he didn't want to be my boyfriend anymore. He wanted to cheat on me with my best friend, and then yeah. So that roommate situation didn't work out as well either. Then I moved to Florida, and Florida is where I kind of moved in with a best friend and realized that moving in with your best friend isn't always the best idea. I feel like sometimes you have boundaries when you're a roommate with someone that you don't really know, and then when you move in with a best friend, those boundaries don't really exist because you're best friends, and you shouldn't mind if the other person's eating your food. You shouldn't mind if the person's really loud. You shouldn't mind all these different things that in a regular situation you wouldn't really care telling your roommate, hey, can you shut up? Or hey, these are my things, don't touch those things. But when it's your best friend, you've already got that relationship where you share everything, and yeah, so that situation didn't work out well because I was lied to about a lot of things, and then rent and all of that crazy stuff was just up in the air and just so confusing, and I didn't really understand what was going on down there. But I moved, things are better. I'm looking for a place right now because, yeah, I don't like living in the middle of nowhere where it's beautiful, but I have no service. I can't do anything on the internet, which as a YouTuber and as a young adult, I kind of need that, especially for moving forward in life with jobs. It's kind of hard to apply for jobs or look for houses and stuff like that when you have zero service. So yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.